Today I'm looking at a game called Void Jump from a developer called Lemo Lab, but I'm pretty sure this is one guy. And I know that because he's on Reddit, he's shared videos on YouTube about his progress, not the team, but his. I think it's one dude. And I featured this in the games coming up that I was most looking forward to. And that's because it was reminiscent of Jump VR back around 2016 for PC VR. And that was a relatively simple kind of building hopping game where you have a goal in the distance. You got to get to the top of one specific tower, and the whole map is your oyster, and you got to find a way to leap from one ledge to another, and you're meandering your way through like an entire city. The whole thing is yours, and you can't die. If you fall, you simply lose progress and you suffer because of it. And I was playing that back on the Gear VR, again, 8-9 years ago. And I really liked that game. It was not especially beautiful. It was simplistic. It didn't have, Unreal Engine behind it, but this does. And this game leans heavily, I think, into something like Blade Runner. It's got that kind of aesthetic to it. And I said as much in that video where I was talking about stuff I was looking forward to. And this comes out on the 14th, which today is the 10th, so we got 4 more days. And I'm happy to have had early access to it. And the guy who made this game wanted my honest opinion on it. I'm free to create content, and he seems like a nice guy. So I'll kick this off by saying thank you to him for sending this to me. Thank you to you for being here. And if nothing else, it's a very pretty game. He put a lot of work into the environment, of which there are 3, and visually, it's impressive. Now, I kicked this video off talking about Jump VR because those were the expectations I had going into this. You have this giant city, the world is your oyster, it's so beautiful and kind of drenched in neon light that I was really excited to explore it. And there are 3 worlds, 3 cities that you can peruse, but you're kind of limited to a single platform. That's all eye candy. It's a background that you can't really physically go to. You can't explore it. And honestly, I was bummed that was the case. For all the work he put into this, I had really hoped that I'd be able to just kind of freely leap and bound from one building to another, and you can't. Now in Jump VR, you would jump by pressing A, I think. And there was no, as I recall, limiting like the velocity at which you jumped. It was just you kind of looked ahead and you knew how to play the game, and you press A and you fly into the air and you calculate, and you can move in the air with the joystick where you're going to land, and you just keep going. And that was it. Very simple. This, on the other hand, there is no button to jump that I can find. It's all about taking your controllers, using the grip buttons, and pulling down, and that thrusts you up or forward. And in time, you get good at kind of understanding what's happening, and you can kind of measure it and not screw it up too bad. And instead of perusing the length of some city block or the whole town, again, it's this platform made up of maybe a dozen smaller platforms, and you have to leap from one to the next, and hovering over various spots are these boxes and icons. You touch one, it's then yours, and it gives you some power relative to what the box is. So if there's something that's a timer icon, then that slows down time, and when you jump, it gives you more time to kind of look around you, plan your descent, and where you're going to land, and that's the game. Essentially, it's get from point A to point B. There's a hub on the other side that you need to get to. And you could, in one single bound, kind of leap across everything and get to that hub and press the button. And you can move on to the next level, but it's going to give you like 0 stars. You failed, essentially. You got to get all the icons to pass. And in time, I was enjoying myself. It was kind of fun trying to plan it out to where I'm getting this, then that, because I know that I want the timer function to kick on last because there's some awkward tile I need to get to, and I need to slow down in time so that I can leap over something and then take my time and reach down and teleport to some block that I would have otherwise not been able to get to. But that's the game. That's it. You do get better at it over time. It's a bit awkward and kind of difficult to figure out initially, but there is an amount of skill that you kind of build up as you go. And as I said at the top, visually, it's stunning. But visually, there are also some hiccups. For me, on every single map throughout the entire game, there are some stunning lighting effects, some lens flares coming from the top, but it's only visible in one eye and not the other, and so it causes this kind of nausea-inducing thing. Fight through it, it's fine. It's not the end of the world, but it is a thing that's kind of always dragging at you. So I hope they fix that in time for the launch. Additionally, I spent way too long trying to figure out how to launch a game in the first place. At the top, there are these what I thought were worlds, but you can't really interact with them. Instead, below that, there are worlds, which probably makes sense to most people. I don't know what kind of issue I was having, but you select that, then launch a game, and I think each world gets progressively more complicated, and as you unlock different worlds, you then have access to upgradable thrusters. You can change your controllers in the game. There's a lot to unlock, and there's a lot to modify visually. Getting around this game, you cannot free walk. You can't use the joystick to just go wherever you want. Kind of wish there was, and I kind of wish that there was the option to press A or B to jump instead of having to thrust. I understand that that's part of the appeal. It kind of adds to the level of required skill, getting around some of the stuff, trying to measure your velocity in little increments, just like that. And if it was just press A to jump, I know that would complicate a lot of these micro leaps that are required to get around to different icons, and I get it. And it's unfair to the developer for me to say this, but it's just the way it is. Because I went into this dead set on comparing it to Jump VR, I launched the game just to have my hopes dashed. Like, it's not the same thing at all. It's nothing like it. It shares none of the core mechanics. The goalposts are entirely separate. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to be able to explore this city that he built that looks really good, and I wanted to find myself perched on the precipice of some building and have to expertly leap up, looking up into the sky and planning for the next ledge I was going to aim for. That's what I wanted. And instead, I'm stuck in what amounts to a 45 by 20 foot box. And even then, if you jump off, like just say screw it, and you leap, you'll hit a barrier in the air and fall. And as you fall, you don't fall to the ground. It resets as you hit like 50 feet. So there is no open world thing here. And that's fine. It's unfair, as I said, of me to show up to a game that I didn't build with expectations that I invented in my head and say, why isn't this like the thing that I wanted it to be, like a year after you began developing it? Meh. Totally unfair. I understand that. And if I look at this game from just the perspective of this is what it is, this is what it's designed to do, how well does it do that thing, then it succeeds. But it doesn't change the fact that that's what I wanted. I think that most people would have preferred that. There's going to be a bunch of people who, in a game like that, they don't have the VR legs, it's going to make them nauseous, and they need the teleportation to overcome that. So he's talking to a huge number of people who would appreciate it. But it's not what I was hoping for, and whatever I have to say in this video, it is a huge amount of work that he put into it, and I respect it. It would be cool if he expanded upon this down the line and gave us something more what I'm looking for, but it's not his job to do that. If someone wants to make a game like that, the game I want, which Jump VR is dead. I downloaded it. It's like $5, I think, on Steam, and I could not get it to launch. I was hoping this guy would pick up the mantle. And it's still a cool game if that's your thing. If you want to fine-tune those skills and get good at this and beat everyone else's time, I think that you'd enjoy it. But it's not for me, unfortunately, and that's my doing, going in thinking it was going to be something else. I'm going to link this game down below. It's via Steam, and again, it comes out on the 14th of January. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And thank you for all the comments through our CES video. It's very cool to hear from everyone. Thank you to my members. And look at this, we're growing all the time. And you could join too. And in return, you would get early access to all this content. And on occasion, we do marble runs, which is a way of giving back and saying thank you now and again. Please subscribe and like this video and comment and let me know what you think. It would mean a lot to me. I'm a small channel, but I want to grow. Something like 80% of you are not subscribed. It just makes me sad. Thank you again for being here, and Godspeed.